What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? It is Tyler, and today I am bringing you a brand new video. And today's video is going to be something a little special today. It's a little special to me, to my heart, very near and dear, and it's going to be very separate from you guys. I apologize. A lot of my audience, I know, I recognize that my age demographic is a lot younger than I am. Pixel Gun 3D was not a game for my age demographic at the time. As you guys know, I was about 17, about 18 years old when I was at my prime of Pixel Gun 3D. Pixel Gun 3D was not made for 17 and 18-year-olds. I was making it, and I had the knowledge beforehand to make those videos, make them entertaining so you guys watch them, and I made the money. I was ahead of your time making videos of games that were for your age demographic. That is what so many people do. That's why you have so many adult content creators making Minecraft videos. It's a child's game. It's not an adult's game, but they're playing it. Anyway, I wanted to touch on a little bit of my nostalgia. You guys, a lot of you guys grew up in the Xbox, PlayStation era. A lot of you guys didn't even reach that era. You guys went straight into iPads, iPods, MacBooks, diving straight into the computer, PC gaming, all of that. A lot of you guys skipped out on the gaming era where console after console after console after console coming out year after year after year. It wasn't an annual anticipation for a game, it was an annual anticipation for a new console, which brought complete new opportunities for what the games could hold. So within that, throughout my timeline, my brother started out, we had a Sega Genesis, he got a Nintendo 64. There was a Christmas that me and my sister and my brother, all three, we got Game Boy Colors. And so that was, I think I was probably about 4. I was about 4 or 5 when we got our Game Boy Colors. And then that was kind of it. You know, we played our Game Boys, this and that, but it wasn't a main thing. Like the Game Boy was just that side entertainment, that side hustle. You know, when you were just slap bored, you would pick up the Game Boy. All right, so I went throughout my years. My brother, again, like I said, he had the Sega Genesis. He had the Nintendo 64. He ended up getting one Christmas. He got the PlayStation 2, and this was a Christmas I was 5, or I was 4. Actually, that coming April, I would be 5. But that December, I was 4 still, and he got a PlayStation 2, and he got like a deer hunter game or something like that, and so I wasn't too interested in it at the time, but then he ended up getting other games. He ended up getting like a Robin Hood game. He ended up getting the Disney Golf, so it had like all the Disney characters and you play golf, just like Wii Sports or something like that. That's pretty much what it was. And so at that time I was kind of picking it up. All throughout those years, I was watching him play the N64. I was watching him play, Mario. I was watching him play Donkey Kong. I was watching him play. There was one time we weren't allowed to play Zelda, but there was the one time our neighbor Tony, and it wasn't our neighbor. It was my grandma's neighbor in New Orleans, and so we went over to my grandma's house at some point in time for vacation or whatever, and Tony had come over and he brought Legend of Zelda. And so I saw that, all of that, I was experienced and exposed to it all. And so the gaming era, the gaming realm was open for me, was ready for me. And so eventually I ended up turning about 8 or 9, and my cousin ended up getting a GameCube. And I couldn't stand that. I was like, you got your own console, you're sitting up in your room playing the GameCube. It's got these little discs, it's not even normal discs, like it's like custom. It's like it felt so real to me, and I felt that jealousy burning in me. So I was like, I gotta get a GameCube. So after that vacation in Tennessee where I saw my cousin have the GameCube, I went back to Mississippi and I said, I have got to get a GameCube for myself no matter what. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I did. At the time being, I collected knives, I collected swords, I collected many things with blades attached, and I had acquired from one of my brother's friends. He was doing a whole big like clean out or whatever, and he had no use for his big store store grade glass case, display case. He had no need for that anymore. It was just wasting space for him. So he wanted to give it away. He knew I collected knives. He didn't need those knives anymore. He was done with his collection. He was just trying to clear up space. So he gave me his, again, store grade display or glass display case with some of his knives. I already had mine on, and he included some of his own and some of his swords and daggers. So I was ecstatic. Well, come the time where I'm jealous and I want a GameCube, well, turns out I have another friend that collects knives, because what do you do whenever you're passionate about your passions? Well, you collect friends that are also passionate about the same things. Well, guess what? I have a friend that's passionate about the same thing, so I'm going to sell all these knives, this glass case, and everything that I just acquired to this man for $80. Now, I asked $120 because I went to GameStop and looked at these GameCubes, and they were about $79. So I was like, so about $120, I can get a good game, I can get it with plus tax, everything like that, and maybe I could possibly have some money left over for another controller. Well, he wasn't going for $120, he said $80, and I said, well, I can get the GameCube, let's go, boom, deal. So I sold my knife case, I sold all my knives, I sold a little this and that, and I had about $84 to my name at about 8 years old. And me and my dad, I think it was me and my dad. My grandma could have been in town at the time. If my grandma was in town, it was definitely me and my grandma. But I think it was me and my dad. But like I said, I could be wrong. It could have been me and my grandma. But we went to GameStop, and I got me a GameCube. And the very first game I got, yes sir, Star Fox Adventures. You can't see it because, I mean, it's backwards because I have the camera flipped just so I can make sure I can. Like I said, I don't have a setup yet. But I got Star Fox Adventures for my very first game. I looked at the back. There's dinosaurs all over it, you know, so on and so forth. But basically, I wanted a longer game. I didn't want like a racing game. I didn't want something that was going to be short and sweet. I wanted something that was going to last me. I didn't realize Star Fox Adventures, just on your normal playthrough, is about a 5-hour game. I also didn't realize that if you didn't know anything about the game, that if you were a fresh player, it's about to be about 10 hours. Because just a regular long playthrough, knowing what you're doing, is about 8.5. It's about 8. It's truly about 8 hours. It's about 8 hours and 12 minutes. It's not 8.5. But, yeah, I didn't realize how long it truly was. But I got Star Fox Adventures. That's my very first GameCube game. Now, guys, I want you guys to see this because this is a point of my nostalgia as well. This cover, this display on the disc display right here. You see Fox's face? You see the orange and the purple a little bit blended? You see that? I looked at that so many times when I was 9, 10 years old. This face right here, this disc right here, when I was placing it into my GameCube, I looked at that so many times. Just opening the case is a whole nother story of nostalgia. Not just the case, not just the back, because these are the first two things I saw at GameStop, right? They don't show you the disc at GameStop. They have the disc taken out. They'll put that in later. I had the case at GameStop, and then I got home, I opened it up, and I saw that disc. I played that disc. That was the disc that stayed in my GameCube for about a solid, probably about 4 months until I got Need for Speed Underground 2. But Star Fox Adventures was absolutely phenomenal. Guys, when I talk about an RPG, this game, now there's a lot of going back and forth. A lot of these early RPGs, that's what they were. They didn't have that broad landscape for you to explore. It was a lot of, this is your main village, you learn the story, you talk to these people, you go out, you venture out, you do something heroic, you come back, you deliver it, and then you, so on and so forth, you cycle and repeat. Very rarely were you going to another location, meeting somebody, and them sending you to another location. It was very rarely like, pin, pin, pin. It was always pin, pin, back to pin, 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 back to pin, 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 back to pin. So they were very repetitive in a sense because at the time the mechanics of the puzzles and everything like that, people didn't, you know, just have the full understanding of that within video game development. But Star Fox Adventures, again, was about an 8-hour playthrough, and that was unreal for me. I remember my brother coming in my room and him saying, "You're still playing this?" And I'm like, "Dude, like, I'm not even bad at it. Like, it's not because I'm bad. It's not because I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. I've just been naturally playing it for this long. Like, it's a long game." He didn't realize that. He actually picked the game up after a while because he was like, "Oh, like, this is a game. This ain't a child's game, whatever. Like, this is a game." He's been playing it for like 8 hours and he's still truly playing it and he's not stuck. And so my brother ended up popping on it. I just got this game for the first time in about 20 years. I haven't played this game in about 20 years. One of the biggest things for me is music. Music is my passion. Guys, the soundtrack is absolutely amazing. There is multicultural music all throughout this. The African inspiration, the tribal inspiration. There are so many different tribal orientations within the soundtrack of this game. I went back to YouTube and I listened to that again. Oh my goodness, dude. Like, this is my video game. This is my type of video game. Pixel Gun was not my video game. That was y'all's video game. I gave y'all's video game, but that was not my video game. I did that for money. Star Fox Adventures? Bro. I don't have a GameCube that can actually hook up to HDMI. I looked at that. I don't have the actual model that can split and convert into HDMI. So currently I cannot easily and financially accessibly record my gameplay of it. But this is the game I've been talking about. This is what I'm going to be playing. I'm going to do a full gameplay. I'm going to do a walkthrough, everything like that on YouTube, but I'm also going to be doing it on Twitch, like just the live reaction, and then a lot of the YouTube videos are going to be cut from Twitch. Guys, this is a game I am going to be sitting down and playing a lot. And not like a lot, like I'm going to be, because once you beat it, like you beat it. But like I said, it's like an 8-hour game. So it's not just a sit down and just beat it, because now you're older and now you can understand it. Even if you understand it, it's still a 5-hour game. So, guys, yeah, video games are back. It finally came in, and I am so excited. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you just like me talking about it, I ranted about this. I didn't know how to do it. I was going to do an unboxing, but I was like, it's not even a box. It's a package. It's just, it's wrapped. So I went ahead and unboxed it. But the disc is the biggest thing for me, and oh my goodness, does it flash me back. I remember the house we were in. I remember the smells of my room. I remember the smell of GameStop walking in. I remember the manager at GameStop. She was Rochelle was such a wonderful woman. So many birthdays I went in there and she was like, "Oh, it's your birthday? Yeah, okay." And she would give me free like Spectrum cards, or she would give me a free stylus for my DS, or so many things. She was this game right here, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to share it with you guys. It's finally here. And yeah, in the comments below, go ahead and drop something. What is the first childhood stamped in your memory? Star Fox Adventures was the first game of my console, very first console that I bought for myself. GameCube was that first console. Star Fox Adventures was that first game for it. I ended up, the first time I actually dove into gaming was 360, Xbox 360, and that game was Halo 3. But what was you guys' like stamped game of your childhood that no matter what, when you become 40 years old, like the game that plays in your head is like the most entertaining video game wise? What was it? Mine was Star Fox Adventures. Let's go, baby. Let's go. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys stay tuned for the next one. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you guys are having a fantastic future to come. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.